Do do
There
do
we
do
go.
do 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 do. Oh,
That's how my brain is this morning. Come on, hurry up. All right, guys, welcome to the Drag Driver Pete News presented by Summit Racing for June 29th, 2024. The busiest month in drag and drive history is over. And I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. Events all over the world have completed. They've finished up, and we're going to dig through all of those stats, not this morning, and bring tons of interesting stories and engaging stories for you guys. There's so much that happened just on Rocky Mountain Race Week, and it's crazy. So today's show, we're going to kind of talk about Rocky Mountain Race Week because I just left there and it just finished yesterday. We're going to talk about new class records, interesting stories, and that maybe Tom Bagguley is the baddest dude in the room. I don't know. Eric, hit that intro video and let's get this thing going, dude.
all right, let's do it.
Dude, I'm so ready for to be back home. I'm just telling you, it's gonna be. I'm ready. Anyways, guys, my name is Mike Narks. I am the host of the Drag Driver Pete News, which is what you're watching now, and the Drag Driver Pete Show, which happens on Wednesday nights live at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then we put all this stuff on PowerTube as well, so you can find it there on their podcast channel. And my main man, right here, my RHM, my right hand man, dude. Introduce yourself. Tell them what you got going on.
I am Eric White. I am the co-host of both the news and the show. And lately, all I've been doing is editing photos for Sick Summer, for the photos you've been taking at Rocky Mountain Race Week. But they've been incredible. People have been loving them, which makes me want to do more and more. So
Yeah.
even though it's a ton of work, it's a lot of fun and people love it, and that makes me want to do it more often.
I'm telling you, man, it's awesome to help drive that memory. Like those people are going to have those pictures on their phones for a very long time. I don't know about other folks, but I typically don't delete a whole lot of stuff. So it just continues that memory as you're scrolling through trying to find that one picture you were trying to show somebody. So that's awesome, man. And hey, listen, I appreciate you editing all those photos because you take the photos that I take and make them look great. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate that a whole bunch. Well, guys,
Oh yeah.
listen. We can't do this without you guys. Can't do this without our race car friends. Thank you so much for being around. Thank you so much for the support. Listen, I've been looking at the metrics when I have 2 seconds, and it's crazy what has happened on Facebook and Instagram in the last 3 weeks, man. I mean, and that's because of your hard work and us out here gathering that content. So thank you so much to all of our race car friends that are out there. Thank you for the shares and comments and likes and all that kind of stuff. And then obviously thank you to our sponsors who make our travel and all of the stuff possible. Summit Racing, Driven Racing Oil, Molly Motorsports, Car Change 3D, WAF Racing, Performa Built Transmissions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Racing Junk Classifieds, which we have some cool cars at the end of the show to talk about, and PowerTube TV, y'all. It's appreciated everywhere. Thank you all so very much. All right, you want to do this one here?
Yep. First off, we want to start off the show by offering our condolences to the entire Musey family. Obviously, everybody has seen the news of Street Outlaws racer Lizzie Musey passing away at the age of 33 after a
Mm,
battle with cancer. So that was definitely unfortunate to see the other day when I woke up. And then, of course, everybody's seen John Force getting into the accident, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Two big name drag racers in the community. So
yeah,
best of
yeah,
luck to John Force and his recovery, and our condolences to Pat and all of the Musey family.
yeah. It's super. It's a wild week to think like what all is going on and what's happening. And then Austin Prock is leading the charge with that John Force Racing team and actually set a new track record last night. So He's the only one in the team that's racing, and they're out to win it. I mean, they're doing it for John. So, you know,
Oh yeah.
all the good vibes and everything being sent to those families for sure. All right. And I'm sure y'all can tell my voice is a little down, but I'm gonna read through this Summit Racing Speed legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop with 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions. Fueling your passion, they save you money, deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Also on All Cylinders podcast for more conversations like this. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. Well, you you posted up here and you sent me this picture earlier. Dude, if you had an unlimited budget, what modifications would you make to your current car or what car would you buy? Do you know how hard this question would be to answer? Summit
I
Racing, you
yeah.
guys.
Yeah, there was 98 comments. I was kind of scrolling through them a little bit this morning, and there was a lot of different answers that were kind of unique, and it kind of made me think about it. And I don't think I would modify my current car. I think I would buy an 850 ready car
Yeah.
that can run 8500s and has
Yeah.
air conditioning and all the, creature comforts. That would be the ideal car for me. Get in, drive it around everywhere. It's comfortable, AC, the works, and then, stop off at your local track and bust off an 8500.
Yeah. And then just go back home and enjoy yourself. I
Yep.
mean, I think you're right up my alley. Mine would probably be a 73 Nova in white, if I'm being honest. The tribute car to my dad. So I think that would be,
Yeah.
probably what would obviously be built on this side first. It's what comes to my mind first. I don't know, but I like your style and Summit. That's a hard question to answer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because obviously we want to keep upgrading the cars we have as well. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yep.
That's tough. Well, let's lead into some driven racing oil updates here, sir.
All right. Why gamble with performance or protection when you get proven results from Driven Racing Oil? Trusted by top engine builders, winning racers, and devoted horsepower enthusiasts around the world. Driven takes their legendary base oils, such as the ones from Bradford, Pennsylvania, which comprise their GP1 line. Then Driven boosts that superior base with state of the art additive packages. Driven's GP1 Nitro 70 not only provides anti wear protection, but can even shield cylinders from washout and fuel dilution caused by using methanol or nitro based fuels. Learn more about Driven Racing Oil by following them on Facebook and Instagram at Driven Racing Oil or shop now at drivenracingoil.com.
Oh yeah. And so we talked about Rocky Mountain Race Week being kind of the focus of this show for today, but I will say they finished yesterday, and there's going to be a full report that'll come on the Drag Drive Repeat show on Wednesday night. That'll be episode number 70. 326 cars that started the event, maybe the largest event they've ever held. I don't know.
Wow.
I'll have to go back and look at the numbers, but that's got to be really really close to it. Um, 326 cars is a bunch.
Yeah.
Everybody understands. What's really cool about this is that means Sick Summer had 330, right? 318, 330, something like that. And now Rocky Mountain, the literally 2 weeks later, has had 326, and Big Sky Race Week had 125 or something like that. I mean, dude, that's 750, 800 people just in 3 events
Right.
in June. I bet I bet there were 2,000 almost racers in the month of June that competed in a Dragon Drive. Absolutely crazy. Well, the results, the overall winner, obviously Bryant Goldstone took that home. He did not overtake Larry Larson's ET record from 2015. I was so sad, but struggled a little bit at Mocan. I mean, that's at the end of the week. We're going to talk about that on Wednesday night too. But at the end of the week, I mean, they had a lot of struggles throughout the time, and they were racing obviously in the evening and then getting in the car and driving, which is their typical process. But that meant they were up all night each night.
Yeah.
So pretty intense. I mean, the first day they had like a 38-hour day or something like that. The 13.0 index was awesome to watch. It was a lot of fun. We talked about the EV, wrote a little article about it on Alan and Nicole Ledesma. super cool couple. And listen, every time I went by that pit, it was busy. Every time I went by there, people were stopping, asking all this stuff. They did have a generator in a trailer, but they did not use it, not once. So that's
Nice.
pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. And Nicole ended up winning, and then Alan took second. So that's kind of neat. I mean,
Yeah.
to one have the controversy, quote unquote, of the EV doing a drag and drive, and now you win this 13.0 index. And so I asked him, I was like, man, how do you do that? He said it's driving just like you would anything else. He said that that car will actually run like mid 12s. So it wasn't like it would run right up to 13.0 or something every time. It literally is faster than that, and they had to be driving it. So that's pretty cool to be able to do that. And husband wife team take the 1 and 2 spot. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's definitely a cool story for sure.
Oh yeah. Let's move on to BC Drag It Challenge. It completed on Wednesday, I think. I can't remember what day it is right now, but it completed on Wednesday. So we want to go through the winners of that list if you want to run down through that stuff.
Yep. So the first one is the bracket class that was won by Cassie Tippy. Next was the 640 class was Terry Raitt, followed by the 740 class of Rob Wilkie. The stick shift class was Jaden. Um, ooh,
Olenek?
a link
Yeah.
sounds close.
Olenek. Yeah, I dig it.
Apologize if I screw up anybody's name for sure. And was gonna get some photos for this, but couldn't find photos of each car, or I didn't know who was driving each car. So
Yep.
maybe we can reach out and do a follow up on this later when
Yeah,
we
for
get some
sure.
pictures.
Yep.
Uh, the next class was the truck class, which was Royce Foster, and then the quick class was Rob Monroe. And then last was the fastest streetcar in BC, which was Laurie Peterson with the fastest pass of 614 at 121.8 miles an hour.
That's awesome. Yeah, it looks like they had a blast. It looks like that event had a lot of fun. I mean, just looking through photos as I could throughout the last couple days, and I mean, I would say they had a blast. I don't know. We're gonna hear from racers and things like that, and we're gonna obviously dig in to that as we move into our show on Wednesday night.
Yep, yep.
It's,
We'll reach out and maybe get some photos of each one of those cars, and we'll
yeah.
recap with what their averages was and everything.
Yep, yep, that'll be the plan, and typically the team at BC will send that to me, and they may have already. I just don't, I don't have it yet, or I haven't had a chance to look yet. So next up, events that are coming up. Obviously, we're moving into the early part of July now. The next event coming up is Street Week in Sweden. Not Street Weekend, which happened a couple weeks ago. Street Week in Sweden, 2024, and this is the event that Stefan Gustafsson had shipped that car over. They were going to compete with it, but sadly that car was wrecked. But Magnus Frost has his car, I think, probably ready, and he's going to be racing in this. So that could be a car that is definitely worth the watch for that. I don't know where they're going to be playing live streams or if they will or whatever, but you can find Street Week Sweden on Facebook. And it starts July 6th and runs until the 13th.
Yep. And then the next one, we go into Midwest Drag starting on July 8th and running through the 12th. That starts at Kentucky Dragway on the 8th.
Yep. That'll be a good one to watch. That's gonna be a lot of new tracks for the community, and, I mean, two passes a day is tough. That's what
Yep.
folks typically don't understand, and if it was anything like Rocky Mountain, it's gonna be hard to compete in that because it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be sweaty, and Kentucky should be very humid, so it should be interesting to see that one come through, and we'll be watching, Facebook for updates and all that kinda stuff.
Yep. It looks like Kentucky Dragway on Monday, Tuesday. Then we've got Beach Bend Raceway on Wednesday, and then Edgewater Motorsports Park on Thursday, and then back to Kentucky Dragway on Friday for the schedule for that one.
That's awesome, and the Hargett Automotive and Performance is one of the route stops, so that's kinda cool.
Yep, yep, for sure. And then the last thing before we move on, I wanted, and I didn't grab a picture, which I forgot, but I wanted to congratulate the new team driven racer, Cameron Alley, which is a local guy to me. He has
Mhm.
that orange SN95 Mustang that was in the 850 class. It was leading it up until the last day of Six
Yeah.
Summer. So, congratulations to him. I saw them post up sometime during the week that they are now partnered with Driven Racing Oil. So, that's super cool.
Yeah, that's exciting. And I mean, you talk about just using the word driven as like a motivational term. Those guys did. I mean, they completely did a rear axle gear swap in 2 hours from the car braking to back in the beams. 2 hours.
Yeah. And then ran
Crazy.
a faster pass than what they could even run.
Yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
like they replaced a part and just barely got down the track. They went quicker than they were supposed to, twice.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty awesome. And he had that class to win. It was his to do it, but man, that's the way it goes. Like how do you service rear gears, That's
Yeah.
I mean it's just a wear item at that level. I don't know. So congratulations to them. That's awesome news for Cameron Alley. And we love the guys at Driven Racing Oil. All right, well, the gentleman's agreement, here's the deal. You guys know this by now if you've listened to any more than just one of these, but listen, this is hard work. What we do is hard. Doing this is not free. It also takes a ton of time. And so the gentleman's agreement is we will continue to do this, but we need you to do your part, which is just hit the follow or subscribe button. We'd love for some shares and stuff, but that's not necessary. Just make sure you're following us. And part of that agreement is that if you do that, we'll continue to do this. That's the way it is. And
Yes,
then
yes, sir.
you become one of our race car friends. How great
I,
is
s-
that?
I see you fixed the race car friends too. It's
Yeah.
actually race car friends now.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll be updating those pictures throughout the next week to get us some new stuff, because we've kind of been using the same ones for a little bit, and we have a ton of new photos, thousands of new photos we have. So we'll be doing a few different ones of those. It's going to be awesome. I don't know. Does listen, race car friends help make this possible because like the late nights, I'm telling you, I've by Wednesday night I had 10 hours of sleep since Sunday and it hasn't got much better, but I've been getting about 5 hours of sleep each night from then. So we're working through it, and I won't go home until tomorrow. We have a full day of pro mod racing today that is actually probably kicking off in about 20 minutes. So, anyways, thank you so much for our race car friends, and thank you so much to our sponsors: Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Change 3D, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Racing Junk Classifieds, and Power Tube TV. We can't do it without them either. I mean, it takes a village around here. Alrighty, let's talk about Car Change 3D and what they got going on, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, here we go. I saw Trevor Brandon here saying congratulations, Steve Willingham, for winning the shootout with the big underdog car. Yeah, I haven't been able to watch any of that stuff, so I'm excited to be able to do that on my way home. All right,
Yes, yes.
Car
So
Change 3D. Go ahead.
no, you're good. Go ahead and kick it off.
Oh, yep. Car Change 3D should be your first choice for custom 3D printed parts for your project car. Corey can take your idea to reality. Maybe you're looking for that special car guy gift that you can't get anywhere else. Corey can produce a one-off keychain for that special person's special car. Find more at carchange3d.com or on social by searching Car Change 3D on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm gonna have to rewrite that because it sounds like he just does keychains, but he does not. He does a ton more stuff. Like there's the keychains, good examples. But oh man, I took them off. He just had a new, and it was my fault for deleting that picture. But he just has a new roll bar mount for like your phone or something. I don't even know what that was for. I just saw pictures of it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was either. It was
Yeah,
I don't think
maybe
it
a
was a phone,
controller
but it
for
was something, yeah.
yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that dude comes up with all the time. So it's
Oh yeah.
it's pretty amazing, and uh, we're working to try and get him to maybe stop posting on his personal page so much because we share his personal page all the time to drag driver beat. So we're going to start moving some. We're going to start pushing him to post that on his Car Change 3D app as well. So Corey Nicholson, if you want to friend him on Facebook as well, super cool guy and really smart and does a lot of really cool stuff with 3D printing. And
Yeah, and
then
he's got a canopy coming because he's gonna do his first event where he's actually
yeah,
gonna have products on site. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for him to do that. I'm excited for him to take that step and go to that level. Well, let's talk about some Rocky Mountain Race Week records because a few of them fell, and by a few I mean two. So naturally aspirated small block has the record reset. Sean from Solid Tech Performance brought out this 2020 Camaro and destroyed the record. Matt Coding held it before with a 10,254, again, naturally aspirated small block, 10,254 average. He knocked it down to a 961 average. So
Wow.
big swing there, big swing. Guy was super nice. If you're following us on Instagram, you can go over and see the video. He basically gives us a rundown and recap of the car there in a quick reel. So you can find it over there or find Solid Tech Performance on all your social media stuff. And then Sean Slaybaugh, the dude that won the hard tire class or the true radio class at the circuit, this guy knocked the 9.0 record. This is pretty intense. Took the 9.0 index, which is a tight class, and knocked it from a 9.087 average to a 9.033 average. That's a big swing. That is a
Yeah.
big swing. You're talking about like 9.08 to 9.03 average in four different tracks across the region. It's intense. He also did it by being heads up racing, which makes it even harder against Jeremy Wilson, who finished just behind him with a 9.040 average.
Oh, wow.
Really close. I mean, you're talking like 7 thousandths of a second average across four tracks, dude. And then they
Yeah.
end up making the drive back to Tulsa. Pretty cool.
And we've
That car
talked about it
awesome.
before. Some of these index classes are going to get tough to reset
Yeah.
those records as these numbers get lower and lower. I mean, you're talking it's a 9033 right now is the record. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if we get them down lower and lower, they're going to be come a point where it's going to be difficult or near impossible to even lower them any further.
Yeah. I mean, Andrew Dapita owns the 12.0 record at 12.005 average across the week. How-
Right. So how does that get any lower?
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. Especially, you can't run under. So think about it this way. For Sean to do that, he had to be within 0.009. Within
Mhm.
that was his window of opportunity between that on each. Well, I guess not on that. So you'd have well, anyways, 9.033 average, pretty amazing. We're gonna run through all those stats again and how he got there on Wednesday night. And then sadly, this kind of broke my heart a little bit because we were so close. We were looking at it truly. Bryant Goldstone did not break Larry Larson's Rocky Mountain Race Week record, but came very, very close. So obviously the record set at 6.911. We've talked about that a whole bunch. Goldstone finished with a 6.963 average. What was really cool, and I love the way that Rocky Mountain does eighth mile days. And we may look into doing this. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how you make that transition, right? So they take your back half from your day before and they put the eighth mile time from Mocan with that. So if your back half time was, say, 2 seconds and your front half of Mocan is 4 seconds, that gives you a 6 second time slip, right? So it's probably the best way to do that. But if you have an off day the day before, that could really hurt you. And I mean, to be so close to this, I know that kind of hurt his heart a little bit because I talked to him on Wednesday and he was a little upset. He wanted that bad. I'm not saying he was upset. He wanted it bad
Yeah.
to do that. But listen, that just means he's going to come back. But you have to know this. This is a guy that came off of Six Summer, raced at Six Summer, struggled through Six Summer, had struggles there. Y'all, they busted the oil pan the first night of Rocky Mountain Race Week, and we're
Right.
up for 38 hours. They didn't throw the towel in then. They didn't throw the towel in when it was 160 degrees at the firewall. Okay, for 4 hours, they drove in that. So that means the roll bar in that car is 160 degrees, if not hotter. So you're literally driving. He said he was having to put paper towels on the steering wheel. The steering wheel was so hot.
Wow. Yeah,
Didn't
they had a lot
didn't
of
finish.
a lot of struggles.
Ugh, it was crazy. I don't think they left the track before 2 or 3 a.m. each night, and then would drive through the night to try and keep it cool. I mean, like, that's intense, man. That is
Yeah.
intense. So they earned that win all the way. crazy to watch it go down all week. Just kudos to those guys. Kudos to
And
those
that's
guys.
and that's his third national level event this year already.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and
the
it's
only
going to be
one,
interesting. Do what?
the only one that's completed 3 national level events so far this year. Do you know?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And he has. I'm interested to see what this does to his points and the stats that could come out of who could be ahead of him for the world champion points because
Hmm.
the group of racers that could overtake him with world champion points is it's probably not you could probably it's not a full hand count.
Yeah,
Like it's tiny, tiny. But what's really cool is we have a ton of events left and who knows? There's some dark horse laying out there waiting, or maybe they see that, oh well, hey, there is a
he
world
missed.
champion. Well, I
Yeah,
can chase.
or he
Yeah,
missed a point on this one by resetting the record. So,
right.
that leaves a little bit of an opening. Or
Yep.
is he going to come to Hot Rod Drag Week as well? Is he going to do 4 national level events this year?
I mean, I would think as long as he's done drag week, I would think we'll see him at drag week, and I would hope we do. I think that would be really cool to for him to be out there and just dominate whatever class he's going to be in then too. Because
Yeah,
I mean, it's working for him. It's awesome. Congratulations to those guys. Congratulations to everybody that finished Rocky Mountain Race Week. I know that's sitting in the notes, but I do want to give a huge shout out to anybody that even competed. If you made a drive, you are a winner in your own heart because, dude, it is hot. It was so hot. I was in obviously my little Saturn that I run around all over the country and it was hot in that car. And if it's hot in that car that's all completely stock, I mean, then it's bad, right? At one time I pulled up my little OBD2 reader fusion deal, the car was running at 70 miles an hour. The car was running 223 degrees. 70. And then the trans temp, this is where it got me, 212 degrees in the Saturn. In
yeah,
the So, obviously, that kinda made me think, like, that was as we went into Texas, to get to Ennis. So, when Jason Hurley had to, sadly bow out, that made me start thinking about, what were trans temps, what were oil level temps and things like that, and he said he had never had oil at that heat before, in the car, and that probably broke some stuff down, but what he said, and it was a great point, he's like, "People need to be changing their oil a couple times this week." So if people didn't do their maintenance, is that maybe why some of the struggles they had? So, I talked to some other racers, they were talking like 230-degree oil temps, and these are guys that have, like, race cars with big oil coolers and stuff like that on it. So, I don't know if we need to ask Bill at what level or what temp, you know, oil starts to kinda break down, but it's gotta be in that range somewhere,
yeah.
you know, especially with
So
the
does it?
mileage and just the constant heat.
Yeah. So does that mean you stopped somewhere and got an oil change on the Saturn too?
No. You kidding me? I did an oil change before I left. It'll be fine. It's only I'm at, like, I think by the time I get home, I'll have 1,800 miles on it this week.
Whew.
So, I'll do one when I get to the house.
That'll be a rough 1,800 miles though with that heat for sure.
Oh, man. That
How's it? How's temperatures where you're at now in St. Louis?
It was 93 yesterday, and I thought it was gorgeous. Everybody was complaining about the heat. I was like, "Dude, this is awesome." It was a breeze. It was great. But it's gonna be a little cooler today. We're looking for the 80s, which is gonna help tonight as these pro mods and funny cars and top sportsman, top dragster really kind of turn this thing up. And I don't know if you're not watching Midwest Drag Racing Series right now, you need to. I'm going to be posting a ton of stuff today over on that page. And if you like, I'm obviously everybody that's that watches this likes drag racing. I know pro mods are a different level of racing than we typically cover, but hey, if I'm doing that, and I could use my race car friends over there for sure. So,
Yep.
all righty, well, let's talk about the Molly Motorsports because man, Eric Grillo is the man with the plan. He was at Rocky Mountain Race Week driving his black. I say that because dang, uh, stick shift Nova 10-second car. He was going out. He was trying to get some trying to get into the low tens, but sadly could not do it. Naturally aspirated stick shift. It was awesome. George was there. You see him on the picture here. He wasn't in his car, but he was there working the Molly tent. It was cool, man. Those guys had a blast. Every time I went by, there was people at the tent asking questions about pistons and all this stuff. So it was really cool. So
Yeah.
congratulations to them, and congratulations to Eric on finishing. All right, I'll do the ad read if that's all right with you.
Yep.
And then we'll roll on to the last couple segments here. Attention, high performance enthusiasts and racers, meet the Molly Motorsport Power Pack Kit, your ultimate solution for power packed performance. The Power Pack pistons are made from either 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances and improved temperature stability, or 2618 alloy to allow for increased detonation resistance. Tailored for various engine families from small block Chevrolet to Volkswagen and Audi, Molly has you covered. What sets Molly apart? Forged pistons, graphol coating, and phosphate treatments for peak performance and durability. Elevate your ride with Molly Motorsports, where performance meets precision. Unleash the power within. Visit mollymotorsport.com for more details. And for you podcast listeners, Molly is spelled Mahle.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Let's talk about Performabuilt, man. Sorry. There we go. Let's will you do that ad read and then we'll get into some of these stories here.
Yep. Performabuilt is the official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performabuilt Transmissions, their goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. They don't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That's why they say their transmissions are not just built, they are performabuilt.
Oh yeah. Looks like I got a call from Daniel. So we're going to run through this pretty quick, and then I got to kind of bounce. So Rocky Mountain this week again had some insane heat. 102 degrees. This is when they pulled into Oklahoma City for Thunder Valley. 102. I think it felt like 110 that day or something like that. Uh,
Darce Laws, Brian Goldstone changed his oil mid trip day one.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, he certainly did. Again, firewall temps 166 degrees.
Man,
Like that's hot, dude. That is
yeah.
hot. And it was pretty wild to see those racers go out there and do that and just absolutely go wild. And I want to say give a big shout out to Rob Lipinski, him and Christy and their two daughters. With I got my pink fingernails on still. Debuted their vintage camper, super cool. It's got my brain already thinking. I think, man, maybe I need one of those. Pull behind the old truck. The trailer was a bit heavy for the converter though, and the trans setup they have in the car currently. So they actually had to this is a transmission fluids change as they were halfway through the first drive day. Okay.
Wow.
Little hot, little hot, little hot. And then they ended up rebuilding the transmission in the pits after racing on Tuesday night.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I think they left from Ennis and went back to Tulsa to get the truck and trailer because it was just going to be too hard to they didn't want to
Do that
push it
all week.
that hard for that week. Yeah. I mean, what was really cool though, they had a mini split on that camper and they were running it off of a generator. I thought that was pretty neat. And dude, it was like 70 degrees in that room or in the camper. So from outside to inside, it was amazing. But they ended up hanging out there all week and or hanging out there all day, and it was awesome. It was a great way to get in and get some shade and be cool. So good luck to them. I know they'll be back and they'll have a different setup for the transmission next time if they're going to pull the camper. But it looked really, really cool for them to be doing that with a 52 or 3 Chevrolet Gasser style setup.
Yeah,
And
there
then,
was another car that had a window mount AC unit inside of it too, wasn't there?
yes, Mark Grote. This is a great story we're going to talk about on Wednesday. I couldn't pull the pictures up in time to get it over, but they literally built a wall across the back of the Gremlin and then put a window unit AC in, and they would flip the back glass out and run the generator on the trailer, and then just it was blowing right like on their necks. Yeah, Mark said it wouldn't really. He said it wasn't air conditioning, but it was at least cool air being blown around in the car.
There you go.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. I've got some pictures on my phone of them at the giant leg lamp route stop, which is where I saw it first. I was like, "What the heck is going on here?" But yeah,
Yeah, I
they had
think we got
completely
a
built a wall across the back of the car.
yeah, I think we got one at least one picture of it posted on Drag Driver Pete Facebook page.
Perfect. That's awesome. Well, let's talk about the man of the hour. We talked about him being probably the toughest dude in the room. Mr. Tom Bagley, dude flies home tomorrow. Listen, this is a picture on day one, and he spent that night and the next morning putting a piston in the car by himself. He was in the parking lot, Tulsa Raceway Park, by himself with a Harbor Freight toolkit putting this piston in. Luckily, the
Dang.
team over there, Jimmy and Brandon, were on site all day working on the track and getting it ready for the dirt track race that's there this weekend. And so they'd go by, make sure he had water. They left the showers open so he could shower after he got all done and stuff like that. 7 hour turnaround time to pull this piston out and put a new one in that he actually had gotten from Eric Wilson, who has also done the same thing, but he did his on the roadside. At least Tom was able to do this in the pits, but he did it by himself, man. It was crazy. And the reason this is such a huge accomplishment is because he really, truly almost did not do the week. He was like, man, before this, he was like, he did the week before that. It's flew over here, did all this stuff. Now drove from LA to Tulsa in the car, all this kind of stuff. And then this happens. Dude, I think it'd have been really easy and nobody would have made fun of him at all if he had been like, "Nope, I'm just gonna ride with somebody. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
ride with somebody and hang out." And he fixed it. 7 hours, fixed it in the parking lot by himself, Harbor Freight toolkit, got it done, got on the road. Here's I would say the most fearful part of that is you've literally fixed this. You're now fixing to take off on a 350-mile trip, and you have to get the trip done by tomorrow, by the next day afternoon, so you can race. So at least we
Yeah.
had a drive day that he could get in and do that. But man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, hats off to him. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it intense, man. So congratulations to him. It's pretty amazing. But what was really cool is the timing put him at Yellow Belly Drag Strip when the owner was there. So when he pulled in, the owner saw the flag on the side of the car and he got like a full backstage tour. He got to make a pass at Yellow Belly. He got like a t-shirt, all this kind of stuff. And you know what the guy asked him? Oh man, we had this guy down here, Rich Guido. You may know him, the Canadian Chuck Norris. And he was like, "Yeah, he's my friend." He said the owner was like, "Oh man, you know Rich Guido? Oh my gosh." So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah. So congratulations, Tom, man. It was awesome to see you again, buddy. I love you. Safe travels home, and I can't wait for you to come back. The way it sounds, unless he can pick up a few sponsors or some donations from folks, that's going to be his only event to come to the U.S. this year. But they got Street Week Sweden coming up, and I'm sure there's going to be another UK event that'll pop up surely sometime this year over that way. So good on him, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and sorry, last one real quick. The Ledesmas we talked about earlier. This is the Mach E EV Mustang. Whatever, however you say that. And I said earlier they won their class. Super cool story. She won the class with a 13.0285 average, running a best of a 13.003 on day three of the event, and then Allen finished second with a 13.0395 average, running a best of a 13.01 on day two. So
So were
kind of
they both just taking turns driving the car?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so not only are they driving an EV, they're drag racing an EV, and they're both doing it.
Right. So double the
Y
passes.
Yeah. Yep. So it was really kinda interesting to talk to Alan, and maybe at some point we'll have him on the show to kinda discuss the thing, but, it's really a logistics game. Like, it's a, "How do I get to this charger without being too far off the route, and how long am I gonna be there?" And I think that's why he liked racing the EV because it was so much extra stuff than when he was racing his like, he had a 2017 or 2020 Mustang GT that had a Whipple on it. I mean, like, ran in the 12.0 index class. Great car. He's a longtime racer, but, they had a child, and they needed something that would be easier on getting a kid in and out of the back seat, and so they bought this, traded the Mustang.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it presents a
congratulations
whole
to them.
different yeah, a whole different set of challenges there when you start talking
Yeah.
about that.
Yep. And one of
Still
the cool
still
things,
challenges, but just different
oh,
than what everybody else is facing.
well, can you imagine the fear? Like, you can't just pull in and get gas. Somebody can't just
Right.
go get you electricity. So they,
Right.
they, he told me, yeah, we have the generator in the trailer if we needed it. We don't want to use it at all. We want to do this without that. But he said if they had put it on, if they had plugged in the generator and ran it to the car,
Oh,
right? They would
speaking
have,
of
oh, speaking of
or
Tom, hey
God,
Tom. Yeah, they had it would take an hour to get them 20 miles of range.
oof,
Yeah, so if you run out of electricity in the car, you all you're gonna spend an hour in the heat to only get 20 miles. So you have to, at that point, be within 20 miles of gas station or charging
charging
station.
station. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
And it's
crazy.
not
Good
like
morning,
you can
Tom.
go to the not like you can go to the track and,
Yeah.
there's a EV charger sitting at the track waiting for you either.
Yeah, so you've gotta watch, your percentage of driving and how you know, do I need to make this pass? How far are we from the next charger? Are we gonna be able to make a full throttle pass and then go to and then
Yeah.
make it? So kinda cool.
And how much I wonder how much it takes off of the battery for each pass.
Yeah, we
I'd be
didn't
kind
talk
of
about that.
curious.
We were getting into that, and then somebody walked up, and I bounced because I wanted him to be able to explain and go through all the stuff he had just told me he'd be able to tell somebody else.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Cool. All right. Well,
Well,
our last segment here is going to be found on Racing Junk. Again, Racing Junk is the official buy, sell, trade partner of Drag Drive Repeat. They have created the new drag and drive category under drag cars. So you go on Racing Junk, click on drag racing cars, and underneath there is the category drag and drive. So there was 24 last week. We're down to 20 this week. So
mm,
hopefully that means four cars from that list have been sold, ideally.
yeah, I think that's probably what it is. That's what I like to think. What I like to really think is that there were 7 cars that were sold and then 3 added back.
That could have been two.
Yeah,
So let me
yeah.
pull up here what I found this week, and we will go over that, and then you can get to the racetrack. All right, so this week we have a supercharged Fox Body Mustang listed at 22.5. So a couple photos
Oh,
here.
man, that's good
Obviously,
looking.
it's nice black, tinted out taillights, on some weld racing wheels, little cowl hood there. It is a stick
Mhm.
shift. I noticed it doesn't have a cage though, so obviously that would be something. Depending on what class you're running, would need a cage, but is a stick shift car, supercharged, still Ford powered.
Dang.
But
Yeah, it
yeah,
looks
pretty.
like a, early 2000s style, build. Dude, the windows are black on that thing. I like it.
Yep, yep. So this is in Troy, Michigan. Again, not horribly far from me. What I thought was cool is it's a '91 Ford Mustang LX Police Interceptor, which is
Mhm.
kind of unique. Weld
Mhm.
wheels, stainless exhaust and headers, new drag radials, Powerdyne GT40 heads and intake, fast and fun, runs great, solid car.
That's awesome. I feel like that's a deal, but who would have ever thought that, Fox Body Mustangs would be $20,000?
Right.
Yeah, that's a cool rig.
Tom, don't
Yeah.
start showing me stuff like this.
Yeah.
And then Nicole, what was it?
Oh,
Ledesma?
Ledesma. Uh-huh.
Yeah, saying that they just started watching as you were talking about them. Perfect timing.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. They were a
glad you
great,
guys jumped
and
in.
yeah, it was really cool to hang out with them and really get that extra story. And yeah, I saw that comment there. Good luck to Tom. Says going to hit the road, boys. All the best, and I'll see you again next year. Man, can't wait, dude. I can't
Yep.
wait. So, alrighty. Well, man, listen. This week has been wild. I want to say thanks to everybody that gave me time to kind of go over stuff through Rocky Mountain Race Week and Six Summer. We did both events. It was pretty lot of travel this month. I think I'm probably going to be somewhere 2,800 miles this month. Well, no, it'll be more than that. I'll be like 33 or 3,400 miles this month, running up to events and stuff. So it's been pretty cool to hang out with everybody. I really appreciate the support of us being out and about. And
Yes.
one thing people kept asking for was merch, man. I've got stickers in the car. I should have made that more available to folks. Listen, it's tough when you're out there trying to sling that stuff and talk to people. So my goal for next week is to build out some kind of e-commerce site on our or e-commerce page on our site so we can do some stuff. But the
Yeah,
way to
'cause
purchase stuff right now is Summit Racing.
yeah, because we still have a bunch of leftover keychains too.
Yeah.
We still got
Yep.
keychains to sell and stickers, and we've talked about it all the time. We've got ideas on tons of different stuff we want to do. It's just
Yep.
getting the time to put it together and a site to be able to sell them on.
Yep. So that's my goal because again, that helps one show support for the brand. We appreciate that for sure. And it helps bring more eyes because you guys are going to put cool stickers and keychains around your cool car. And so that helps us have those conversations. And then obviously it helps us, run the 3,500 miles in driving is 100 gallons. I mean, that's 300 and something dollars worth of just fuel that I've burned, just this month in getting to and from drag and drive events, at least, probably more like $400 worth of fuel in a little Saturn. So
Yeah.
anyways, just want to say thanks again, guys. Thank you for being our race car friends. Thank you for being part of all this that we do. I mean, it really truly comes down to you guys being awesome to us, and we really appreciate that. And we hope that what we do you enjoy as well. So we'll keep doing what we're doing. You keep doing what you're doing, and we'll do all that together. And then thank you to our sponsors: Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Change 3D, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Racing Junk Classifieds, and Power Tube TV. All right, guys, that's it. We'll see you on the next episode of the Drag Driver Pete Show, episode number 70. Dude, we're getting there.
Yes.
Getting there.
Yes. See you
Bunch.
guys.
Bye. Sweet.